Gills Creek Watershed covers the eastern half of Richland County, South Carolina, from the Sandhills to the Congaree River. Kary Lake is one of the largest lakes in this area and has been identified as a priority in restoring and improving the overall health of the Gills Creek watershed. The Kary Lake project is the first restoration effort that addresses decades of increased stormwater runoff, stream bank erosion, sedimentation, and litter. It will improve the lake's water quality and storage capacity and begins to tackle the issues of the entire watershed.
Rapid urbanization over even the last 100 years has impacted on the natural drainage and begun to cause problems. So you get flash flooding, you'll get trash, you'll get stormwater runoff from parking lots. You kind of get all of the above. And we're just now beginning to put the tools together to grapple with that from a regulatory perspective with both Lexington and Richland County, and then a remediation perspective to try to do something about it. Gills Creek watershed starts way back in Richland County. It's Fort Jackson. It's all the neighborhoods that that run through and around the creek. And these neighbors have come together and said, "Hey, enough is enough. Let's begin to figure out how we can solve this."
The Kary Lake project was a partnership between the Gills Creek Watershed Association, Richland County's Stormwater Division, the town of Arcadia Lakes. One of our member organizations, the Cary Lake Homeowners Association, played a critical role in coordinating many aspects of the project, and they'll continue to take care of some of the maintenance issues that'll be very important as we go forward. Carolina Clear, a stormwater education outreach program of Clemson Extension, has also been a partner in the project.
We have a major thoroughfare that's because of the non-permeable surfaces that we have, these big parking lots at Columbia Mall and along Decker thoroughfare. All of those just capture all those pollutants and just jettison them right here into Kary Lake. Along with all the construction upstream, we got a lot of sedimentation coming in. So just a lot of pollutants coming into this particular point.
There are a wide range of pollutants, and Kary Lake was identified as the first project, shovel-ready project to implement as part of the Gills Creek Watershed Management Plan.
It's high in the watershed, so we're starting upstream and hopefully we're going to work our way down with other projects in the future.
Well, this project is going to be one of several projects within the Gills Creek watershed area, and it's a very impaired watershed, and the watershed is extremely important to all the residents of the county as far as providing an area for stormwater runoff.
At the very top of the watershed, which is out near Sandhills, we're sandy soil, and when you have construction, disrupts the soil, and rain pushes that loose soil into the waterways, into creeks and streams, and they have a tendency to travel into the lakes and settle, which creates sandbars, clogs up the mouth of these water bodies, and becomes a real issue both for navigation on these ponds that people like to recreate on, but also creates a flooding hazard for those who are upstream, who now can't get rid of the water that lands on their property in an effective way. It really satisfies a lot of concerns to start to work towards restoring our capacities on our lakes.
This lake is approximately like 55 acres of land, and of this, approximately 15 acres is built up with sediment. The main goal of the project is remove the sediment in the most impacted areas and create more storage capacity for the lake, so that will reduce flooding on the downstream and as well as to improve the water quality in the region.
A lot of trash come out, a lot of tree stumps, a lot of tires, but after we pass through it, there's none of that left. They just dig it out as they come. Dump trucks back up to it, they get loaded, and you have a clean lake bottom.
Well, we are out at Kary Lake, and we are picking up some of the trash at Kary Lake. Kary Lake is about the middle of the watershed. Jackson Creek comes into Kary Lake just upstream here, and they've recently dredged Kary Lake. So the lake is down right now, and lots of trash is exposed, and it's a good time to be out here and picking up trash.
All this trash ends up somewhere. If it doesn't stay in the lake, which is a problem, it can wash further down into other lakes, wash into our rivers. It also is like pollution. It can, pollute the water, and this water is part of the whole supply of water for the state.
We're just now starting to realize the impact that all of the sedimentation has had on the free flow of water from Sandhills down to the Congaree. This pretty much acts as our stormwater system, and it's just happens to be where people have decided to build their homes because it's all so beautiful.
Stormwater doesn't really recognize private property lines and jurisdictional boundaries, and that's a main reason for organizing a group like the Gills Creek Watershed Association, as we're concerned with the health and viability of the watershed across all those boundaries.
The longer the problem and the larger the watershed, the more the need for some organization to put together, like the Gills Creek Watershed Association. Hey, we've all got to work together or we can't solve that whole problem.
We've implemented a lot of new standards in the construction process. We've created more stormwater ordinances, and we're trying to unify those throughout the county. And those will all impact future projects. In addition to trying to create ordinances to stop sedimentation from occurring in the future, we're looking to try to put purification processes within our overall master plan, which would include things like trash booms at the mouths of these lakes to capture the trash as it's coming downstream. And then we get the lake associations to buy into what we're doing, and they agree to maintenance these trash bins so that we're capturing the trash as well. It will be a big improvement for the community when they see less trash.
The sedimentation can be avoided when the development happens in such a way that it's sustainable so that it does not cause these problems. Then we can save this post-construction kind of expenditures.
We all have some vested interest in the entire watershed and its health, whether you have access to it or not. Because in fact it is our stormwater system, and if it's not healthy, then as a community our utility is broken and needs fixing, and it can be very expensive if we don't do something about it now.
Healthy ecosystem, clean water, functioning natural spaces are an asset to any community. It increases the quality of life for Columbia as a whole. It's an important barometer.
Whether you live on this lake or not, all the water is connected, and it's part of the whole water cycle. So I really think that, if you don't live here, you may not have as much interest in it, but it does connect to all the other waters. It's how we're all connected.
You have to solve the whole watershed problem, because if you don't do it in a holistic view, you might solve Kary Lake or you might solve Olympia Park, but something that impacts upstream is gonna hit you sooner or later.